Hello people, I am Sky Demolisher and welcome back for another From the Collection Fridays, a series where I take things from my collection and show it to you, my viewers. And this week, it kind of looks like I've been hanging around with Predator a bit too much and I've started taking people's heads, but that is not the case. What we're actually showcasing is these NECA headstands. Now, the stands come in a set of 3, which is why I've got 3. I've actually got 6 of them myself, and I picked them up so that I could display my Pennywise heads from it. Because I think ages ago I did a video where I got a Pennywise and I think he had 2 spear heads, and then probably like 2 weeks later I think it was, the person that I bought them off had a glitch in their system and they ended up sending me another one that was meant to go to somebody else that had other heads that I didn't have. And luckily they had a spare figure and those heads that they could sell to the original person, and they sold me a spare set of heads. So I've had lots of heads but no way to sort of display them, and I saw these headstands on Mighty Ape and I thought, oh, those would be pretty cool. I did note in the listing it says it works with most like sort of 6-inch figureheads. Amusingly, or sort of unfortunately, the Pennywise heads are not any of those heads. And of course in the middle there I've got my spear head for Hordak from Master of the Universe Origins. Now he doesn't perfectly sit on a stand, but there is a smaller ball there that will actually allow that head to be displayed. For the Pennywise ones, what I did is I took basically sprues from my Gundam stuff and I put the poles into the headstand things so that there's a small enough hole, because Pennywise's heads have holes that are slightly too small with the spare ones that come in this. Now a really cool feature of these things is that they've basically got an interchangeable ball. So at the top bit here you twist it one way and they'll come out, and then you just sort of slot it back in, twist it back the other way and it will lock it. So you've got, I know this is a horrible way to do it, but there's an absolute variety of them there. I think each one comes with 3 or 4 connectors, and the stands themselves have a little bit of weight down the bottom, so it really helps to it helps keep them weight, like that center of gravity down at the base, in case the heads you're putting on it are a bit more hefty. So it should in theory work with like the Marvel Legends stuff, because I know that some of those guys come with spare heads, and I think McFarlane might have some spare heads on theirs. So you do get different connections. There's one, if I open my little bag you can just stare at the heads there. I probably won't get a selection of all of them by bringing them out by hand. Yeah, there we go. So you get one there. There is like a little notch in them. So there's a straight one. That's a straight one. That's on the floor. So much like the straight one, there's this one, which is an angled pole. There is a larger ball. The smaller ball is already on that one. Yeah, so just 4 connections I think. So you get one that's straight, one that's straight but angled, a small ball and a large ball. So yeah, four connections for each stand. So you'll probably want to pick up like a little Ziploc bag or have a little fishing tackle thing so that you can put the extras away in that, because they come in like those sealed clamshells, and I know it's kind of weird, you know, I'm showing off headstands and not like an actual figure, but the other week I said, you know, like with the Gundam builder parts, when it comes to collecting, it's not just about, you know, having the cool things you collect, it's about being able to show them off, and, you know, display them and all that sort of thing. So things like this are brilliant, because, you know, like, you've got something that you can go and put your spearheads on. You might not like the Predator series, but, you know, just pick up a cheap Predator from like NECA, and then you've got an abundance of heads that you can display with it, when you get these extra heads from figures. And it just means that, you know, like, instead of keeping them in a case, or, you know, a Ziploc bag or something, you've got the ability to show them off with the figure as well. Because I would say that because of the size of these bases, you should be able to stick them inside like the stands that you've got for paint pots, you know, like the little gaming miniature paint pots. They come in, you know, come with like painter stands and stuff, and I think these would fit inside because they're, I think, slightly smaller than, you know, like the Games Workshop paint pots, and that seems to be a fairly common sort of size for model paints and stuff. So, you know, you could have it with a tiered look, or, you know, if you're into dioramas and stuff, you could have it sort of like a wig stand, but instead of wigs it's heads. Or you could do the whole thing from what is it? Return to Oz, you know, return to your nightmares, because there was that chick in Return to Oz that removed her head and there were lots of heads, and, you know, it was an era of making films that were absolutely horrifying, and they were aimed at kids. And why were they aimed at kids? Because that's not the sort of thing you'd see for kids today. Anyway, so I'll leave a link to Mighty Ape's website for these. I'm pretty sure they're still available. If they're not still available, I'm pretty sure they'd still be in the section of, you know, they can order them and they'll come within a couple weeks, sort of thing. So I hope that you have enjoyed this, and until next time, take care of yourselves. Bye.